So the homework I gave you, Mamun, did you do the homework? That means the poem that I wanted you to read. Did you go through the poem
जी ma'am. And I have
and
also
the movie,
watched this movie.
the whole movie?
जी ma'am.
Right. And Mahaboob, yes. Mahaboob, what about you? You weren't present in the class for some days. Were there any issues?
Last
Mahaboob,
two
I
days.
can't hear you properly. Yes, Mahaboob, I can like hear your voice very low in a very low way.
Okay, ma'am. Last 2 days I could not come. I could not join join to the class due to my exam coaching. So I did not attend the
Okay, so Mahaboob, then it's okay, but the homeworks that I gave you, did you go through the homeworks or could you?
Yes, I have completed my homework, but not at all. Only read the poem.
You read the poem. Okay. Then even though you haven't watched the movie, I insist that please watch the movie because it is such a masterpiece. Um, don't you agree, Mamun, after watching the whole movie? Isn't it a masterpiece?
Obviously. जी ma'am, obviously.
Yes, yes, right. So I think I will go first to Mahaboob as he has read the poem. So, what did you understand by reading the poem? And its name was, yes, upon Westminster Bridge. Mahaboob, your voice is breaking. Can't hear anything. I think there is an issue with your like speaker.
Actually, ma'am,
No, still,
now I'm staying with my roommate. That's why I am say very slowly. Can I start?
yes, yes, Mahaboob. Now you were audible like properly. Now we can start.
Okay, thanks. Now I'm going to discuss about a poem, and this poem name is upon Westminster Bridge. Title of this poem is he's a poet of
William Wordsworth.
romantic period.
Mahaboob, the accent will be William Wordsworth. Wordsworth.
Words.
William Wordsworth. Words. So Wordsworth. William
Okay.
Wordsworth.
He's a poem of a romantic period, and this poem was
He is a poet of romantic period.
3 in 1820. The poet, described the city
1802, not 1820. 1802.
1802. Okay. The poet described the city beautifully in this poem. In fact, In fact, the description of the city will be wrong. He has successfully presented uh, the beautifully morning of the city here. He has he has seen the world more beauty than 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 everyone else beauty. He said that the person who does not enjoy the beauty, uh, enjoy the enjoy the beauty of the world, is dull. He he described he described he described various he described various things in the morning, such as silent temple, uh, theater, and and he calls he calls the uh, morning sky smokeless. And that's it, man.
Okay. Hmm. All right. All right. Um, Mamun, uh, do you want to add something that Mahabub has said about the poem? Do you want to add something or say something more about the poem? Not about the poet, but rather than about the poem. Was there anything that attracted your eyes? You can share.
Okay, ma'am. Basically, ma'am, and the poet describing this poem, the beauty of morning. He described a small town in London, and uh, he had tried to describe the morning before a day started. And he also said that uh, silent sea, sheep, towers, and domes, all of those things have increased the beauty of the morning. And he has also said that in this morning there are no smoke in this air. We can call it smokeless air, and the air was totally free from pollution. That's when he mentioned it, smokeless air. And then he also said that the river has been flowing by his own smell. And in the last line, he also mentioned that many many people who are laying on the bed still now they didn't can see the beauty of the morning.
Yes. Um, okay, Mamun. Okay, Mamun. Actually, this is like correct. Also, there are some other things that the poet actually wanted to tale. I don't know if you have gone through the history. If you did, then you would have known that 18th century or 19th century, actually, the last of 18th century and 19th century, actually, it was filled with like most of the times it was filled with industrialization. So, like Wordsworth, as he was a romantic poet, he saw beauty in nature and the things which were actually very much beautiful and the natural things. But here in this poem, he broke the rules and by describing not only about the nature, but here he has described about the city life and Westminster Bridge. If you look into Google, you will find that this bridge is situated in London, actually, and it is a overbridge. And underneath this bridge, actually, the Thames, the river Thames, like flows. So it was written about the beauty of the city, the magnificentness of London, like how beautiful it looked when when everything started, and when pollution didn't actually harm our environment this much. And that's how WhatsApp actually showed the positive vibes of nature on in nature, and how the nature looks beautiful. And as even though it is created, those things are created by human beings, like the buildings and then the trees and the Westminster Bridge, everything else. So, and that time when he wrote that poem, actually he was on that bridge. So what happened that when he was on that bridge, actually he saw the beauty, and in the very early in the morning, when the sun was just rising, so at that moment he saw the beauty of the that very place, and by seeing that beautiful thing, he just wrote that poem. And of course, this poem, if you look, maybe you have heard about sonnet, I guess. So this poem is a sonnet because it has 14 lines and there are some rhyme schemes in this poem. So yes, the poem was really about the, even though romantic poets most of the times write about nature, or maybe their lovers, or maybe sometimes metaphorically say something about their lovers through nature, or sometimes also they describe about God. But here, breaking all those rules, what Earth has described the beauty of the not the nature, beauty of the creative, like the artificial world that is made by human beings. So I think that was the main thing that the poet wanted here to show. Yes. Mm, that's the thing, I guess. And wait, I think I will a bit, yes. Uh, so here, if you look at the poem, wait, I will share my screen a bit. Yes. So if you look at the poem, you find that the earth has not anything to show more fair. Fair, normally we know that fair means which is like pale in skin, but here, by the word fair, the poet wanted to mean which is something beautiful. So earth has not anything to show more fair, which means that earth has nothing to show more beautiful, or there is nothing can be this much beautiful than the thing that the poet was viewing at that moment. Dull would be of soul who could pass by a sight to touching in its majesty. So that means that if there is a person that who just passes by the place and doesn't even notice this kind of beauty, he will be like a dull soul, and who has no actually soul in himself. Right. So this city, Acha, sight so touching in his majesty, the city now doth like a garment where the beauty of the morning silent bear. So this city, actually, the city has been compared here like a person, like whenever a person wears some kind of white dress, they look beautiful. So this morning also has like put on some dress because of the freshness of the morning or the brightness of the sun. It looks like that the nature has, or the city life has owned the dress as a white dress, right? And the beauty of the morning silent wear, shapes, towers, domes, theaters, and temples like. So if you notice, you will find that here the sheeps, the towers, the domes, the theaters, and the temples, all the things, all of these things are man-made, and they are not the creation of God, or they are not the natural things, natural ingredients. So even though they are not natural, still Watsat is actually praising the beauty. Actually, the romantic poets, most of the times, they most not most of the times, all of the times, the romantic poets were like they had a lot of positive vibes. Because they had a lot of positive vibes, they saw beauty and they saw each and everything in a positive way. So that's what Wordsworth also here we can see by Wordsworth's writing. Then comes open unto the field and to the sky, all bright and glittering in the smokeless air. So which means where there is a place, like if you see, if you look at the natural beauties, you will find out that there is a place where your eyesight ends, and where it seems like the sky and the field, they are getting matched and they have been touching each other. It feels sometimes, if you notice, you will find out this thing, and that is called horizon. So that is the thing that here the poet is talking about. All then the first line here, the open unto the field and to the sky. All bright and glittering in the smokeless air. So the smokeless air, and which is glittering, and everything glittering means chalk chalk color, right? And bright, all those things never did sun more beautifully steep. So means n- which means that the sun is actually rising up, and the rise is seems like the way a child actually slopes round rock or a hill. Never saw, I never felt a calm so deep. So so first the in his first splendor, valley, rock, and or hill, that means here the poet is talking about the sun. So like the way he goes up, it's the valley, the rock or hill, and never that person, he never felt so deep and so calm. Calm means shanto, in a quiet, that much quietness the poet has never viewed in his life. So the river glides at his own sweet will. That means the river flows away at the way, the speed that it should have been. It flows that way. That means that as he is like on a standing up on a bridge, so underneath the bridge there is a river and it's Thames River. So how this river is flowing, that he is also describing, or he is also viewing, right? Dear God, the very house seems asleep, and all that mighty heart is lying still. So that means that each and every people, all of the peoples, they are sleeping in peace, and that means the houses are also sleeping because people hasn't started working. And if they hasn't started working, that means the house will also be closed, and they will also feel like they will also seem like there is nothing going on and no one is there. So they will also, the houses will also seem that they are also asleep, right? And all that mighty heart is lying still. And that means mighty means holo mohot, boro, bishal boro. So mighty heart is lying still, that means the huge like the huge buildings and all those things, all the things, that means all those things, they are also lying down. They are also lying on maybe the inside that room, or maybe the industrial work, each and everything, they are not actually working at this moment. So that's what the poet here in this poem wanted to say, right? Now uh, right. So Mamun, if I ask you that that actually the movie that I wanted you to watch, or all of you to watch, the Grave of the Fireflies. How was the movie? I don't want like a description. I don't want a summary, Mahabub. Like, what did you feel after watching the movie? What was your thought, your core thoughts, your heartfelt thoughts that you felt after watching the movie? Please describe, Mamun.
This animation is not only show the picture, the world how cruel it is, but also show how lucky we are, have to have how lucky we are, have to a family and a place to
Have a
live in.
family. Mamun, to have a family, not have to a family. To have a family.
To have a family and a place to live in. And finally, this animation makes you sometimes guilty, laugh, cry, and etc. And then it was a masterpiece movie. I have never seen yet this kind of movie in my life. And finally, I wanted to say that we are very lucky because we have a family to live in. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mamun. Thank you, Mamun. Actually, I thought that even though it's your holiday, most of you won't be able to watch the whole movie because it's such a long movie. Yet you managed to watch it. Thank you so much for that, and you realized the thing that I wanted you to realize that uh, actually war is not the solution, or attacking others is not the solution for anything. So now, Saurabh, as you have joined the class, I would also like to ask you, did you go through both the homeworks?
Sorry, ma'am. I did not read the poem, ma'am. I just watched the movie, ma'am.
Okay, you watched the movie. That's great then. That's even greater. So, Saurabh, as you did you watch this movie before, or yesterday was the first time that you heard about the movie and you watched the movie?
No, ma'am. I watched this movie before, but today I rewatched this movie, ma'am.
Okay, okay. You rewatched this movie. Right. So can you tell us the movie, what was the theme of the movie was about? Like, what was the reason why the movie was made? Of course, it was a war, or like there was some incident was happening. What was the incident for what the movie had made on that topic which the movie was made?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Grave of the Fireflies is a Japanese animated war tragedy film, ma'am. The story about two siblings who lived in Kobe with their mother. Their father was a Japanese Navy captain. During Second World War II, uh, when the American airstrike in Kobe area, they started bombing, but somehow the two siblings survived, but their mother injured and later she died. Uh, Moved into his aunt house.
House, their aunt's house, not his, their aunt's house.
Okay, ma'am, their aunt house, but she was not a good woman. He fed up with the children and insult them very badly. After they took shelter in a bunker. The bunker was so dark, so they released the fireflies for they can get.
Was
Uh,
it bunker or was it a cave? Um, Saurabh.
Ma'am, cave, but cave, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. Cave. The cave was dark, so they released the fireflies so that they can get light. It was a nice situation. They and
Nice scenery.
nice.
Sure, you should use nice scenery, not nice situation.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Nice scenery, ma'am. Uh, but several days later, they ran out their food, and the brothers tried to steal some goods from the farmer. but he caught and beaten by the farmers, and the farmers sent him to the police, but the police realized that uh, he stole for his hunger, so he released him. And it is the most heartbreaking that when he released the station, he heard that uh, Japan has surrendered, and most of the Japanese ship sank, and most likely his father dead. So he back to his cave and find out that his sister suffering from malnutrition, and then the sister died, and the brother survived few days, and later he also died from suffering from the malnutrition. The movie was end, but uh, in my opinion, uh, this movie depicted the life, the tragedy of war, that war brings only uh, this unhappiness and sorrow, and makes the ordinary people and makes the people life very horrible and terrifying. and and I also suggest that, ma'am, every uh, every president should watch this movie, because their arrogance and uh, and their power, their ego brings most war, ma'am. That's all, ma'am.
Thank you, Shorab. Thank you. Actually, I also watched this movie for 3 times actually. So yesterday when I sent you the video, after sending you, I also started watching it. And even though I watch it like 3 or 4 times, I don't know how many times, like the situation becomes so emotional, and each and every things become out of it gets out of hand, that actually we can't stop our emotions to like and that's the cruelty, actually really the cruelty of life. It shows us that life actually, that's also the thing Mamun said, that's also correct, that we are actually very lucky to have to be in a situation where this any kind of these issues are not going to happen to us in this moment. And I hope that we all of us hope that this situation never comes back to us. So this is one thing, and another things that I think I would also like to think that if this was the situation, if this was the situation, we don't know if what we would have done. Because the thing that you showed up, you said about his aunt, even though maybe she is also cruel, but if you think from her reasonability, then you will find that she also uh, was actually trying to save food for herself, or maybe some kind of issue. She also became selfish because people, actually all the people, they become selfish because of the situation they are facing, they face at that right moment. So I think that was the reason that people changes. And there are, of course, there are different types of people who are always selfish. There is no selflessness in within them. So that also happens, that also occurs many times. But actually, yes, this movie was something very different. Also, Shorab, I would like to ask you, as you have watched this Japanese anime, did you watch any other Japanese anime, like other movies, maybe some other movies in anime Japanese movies?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Japan is the best, cause ma'am, they create the fine animation film, ma'am, and cartoon also. Uh, I watch. another animation film, ma'am. The name is Spirited Away. It was also good, but it's fictional and fantasy, ma'am. It's not about war, but it was a good one, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Oh, actually, I thought that if you watched Your Name, or maybe I Want to Eat Your Pancreas.
I also watched the Your Name and Holes Moving Castle. Uh,
Okay, okay, okay. Then there is another the recent one. I forgot the name. What was the name? Uh, mm, its name was I totally forgot its name. Uh, it's a very famous anime, like Japanese anime, and the song of that anime has like become very famous. So. Uh, I don't know its name. There was I can't remember the name. So it was also a great movie. But most of the times the movies are fictional. So they are like totally fictional, and they are the things that we can't even think of. So but the I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, it's about a deep girl that who can't even say things and can't listen. So yes, it's a good movie also. Sometimes maybe I will suggest you to watch that movie too. And if I get a link from YouTube or from any legal side, I would recommend you to watch that movie too. I will send you the link to watch that movie. Right. Now, so the thing that I wanted you to tell, or the things that I want to share each and every person that I teach, whether I'm teaching or whether I'm mixing up with them, or maybe they are my friends, there are my seniors, there are my juniors, whatever they are. Maybe someday mm, some of my friends children, some of my child, even whatever the situation happens, I would always like to say that uh, war or hatred is not the solution of this world. By hating others, whenever you start, hate is like a drug, hatred is literally like a drug. If you start hating someone, you will there is no end of it. There is nothing that can burn out that fire of hatred inside you. If you just start like lighting up that fire of hatred inside you. So that's the thing I always want to say, that never, like, if we stop hating others, each and every person, if we stop hating others for their different types of eating habits, their different types of religious views, their types of celebrating culture, whatever it is, if we if we could just be a little bit more maybe open hearted, that we should accept others way of living, others way of doing things, maybe the world could have been better, and these unfortunate things would not ever have happened. I feel this way. So I hope that one day all of you understand, all of us, the human beings, all of us understand that this is the way, and not having all the uh, all the powers and the boom blast and all those things. So it is not the way of the world. It only will damage us, it only will destroy us. There is no way that we will ever be able to like survive in this world. So yes, that's the thing I wanted to um, tell about this, wanted to say to you according to this. Okay. So as even today we will try to um, discuss something more. And I think right. So um, Mamun, if I ask you, um if there is a like if uh, if there is any kind of mistake that you maybe I don't know if it's personal, and if it's not personal, that if it's shareable, if it's shareable, that you regret still now, if there is an incident that you made a huge mistake on it and now you don't want to repeat that kind of mistake again, is there any kind of that kind of mistake that you have made in your life, Mamun? Mamun, should I repeat the question?
No, ma'am. Just I think it, ma'am.
Okay, all right, all right, all right, all right, no problem. Take your time.
I have made a mistake in my childhood when I was 12 years old. I was climb on a tree in three or two times with a day. But my parents said to me, don't climb on a tree much more time. And one day, I climbed on a tree and um,
Fall
I
down,
went
fall
down.
down, fall
जी,
down.
जी, fall down. जी, जी. And I fall down this tree and I lost my left hand. That's mean my left hand had my left hand broken down for falling down. And this time I realized that it was my mistake. If I will go to if I would I wouldn't go to climb on a tree. I think that this incident didn't happen.
This incident would not have happened. Okay,
जी,
right. So now, Saurabh, did you also have this kind of mischievous work or maybe some kind of misdeeds that you did and you still regret today till today that I shouldn't have done that work, otherwise the things would have been better? Is there anything, Saurabh?
Yes, ma'am. Uh, something is some things have, ma'am, I have done, which is very crucial. Uh, when I 5 years old, ma'am, I killed a cat unwillingly, ma'am. It was my pet cat, and I loved him very much. But one day, I had to go my relative house, so I kept the cat in a box. In a box. Uh, so I went to my relative's house and stayed some days. And when I returned my home, I found that cat was dead. But uh, then my mother very uh, scolded me because this cat the cat is dead for his hunger. He cannot get food because he stuck in a box, and that is my horrible mistake, ma'am, in my life.
Oh, yes, that's actually such a yes, it's a great grief actually. Okay, I got it. I totally get it. Um, mm, yes, everyone has those kind of mistakes that they have made. Actually, I also have one brother, and he is 4 years younger than me, and what he did when he was young. He didn't know, and he just put like there was a cat, a little cat, and the cat he bought, and we loved that cat very much, and it was very little at that time. And someday what happened that we lived on a rented house at that time. When we were little, we lived in a rented house, so we had no house then, so for ourselves. So then the house owner, some like once he came, um sorry, once she came, and then she did what, suddenly she just was like coming to my mother for some reason maybe, and she just like stepped on the cat. She didn't even realize, because the color of the floor was actually black, and the cat also looked like kind of grayish color. So she couldn't actually, the camouflaging of, because of the camouflaging of the color, she couldn't see the cat. So at that moment the cat died actually. So yes, so these things happen without even our knowledge. And she also loved the cat. Still, that incident happened, right? So yes, that's the thing. I guess we all most of us have to go through sometimes, right? And Mamun, the thing that you shared, that your about your hand, is your hand totally fine right now? Is it totally okay?
जी मैम,
Okay.
totally.
Okay, that's actually great, because my roommate, there one incident happened that my roommate, she was going through, she has a scooty. So some like what happens if that one day she was like crossing a road, and suddenly from the other side, there came a bike, and she just stopped herself from from the collision, but she couldn't stop falling down because there was a lot of sand on the roadside. So like at that right moment, like she couldn't feel anything, and there was horrible pain in her hand. And then the next day when she went to the doctor and did the like they checked up her hand, um what is it said, x-ray, right? Yes, x-ray, she did the x-ray, and they said that uh, she got a real, like the her uh, bones broke in such a bad way that she needs to do an operation. And it took her like 16 stitches to after finishing the operation, and still there is metal like inside her hand. So it was such a horrible thing. Yes. We need to be careful actually. We literally need to be more careful whenever we are doing any kind of things. Yes. Um, right. Uh, Also, I would like to ask that if it is raining, the place you have been, Mamun, the place you like in Russia, is it raining right now?
जी मैम.
Oh, it's raining. So it's rainy season, we know. So I want to know that uh, rainy season. There are many people who don't like the season, and there are many people who like the season. They cherish the season, and there are many reasons behind this. So, on which side you are? Do you like rainy season or you don't like?
Actually, ma'am, I like rainy season very much because I'm a student. When the rain, when the rain comes in our locality and in our city, a student didn't go to his college or university, and the whole of the day he spent his time with laying on his bed, and sometimes they try to play football under the under the rain, and it was very nice moment for every boy. And ma'am, we have a beautiful place in our university. Its name is Paris Root. When rain comes, most of the students uh, go to the Paris Road, because in the rain time, this road were very beautiful scenery. And when we look at the road, we can see himself, and that's been it's like a mirror. That's why, ma'am, I like very much in rain. That's all, ma'am.
Okay, okay, okay. Mm, then yes, that these are most reasonable reasons. Of course, that's why you should love rain. You can love rain. And what about Saurabh? Do you also like rain or you don't?
No, no, ma'am. I don't like rainy season, ma'am. I like winter, ma'am, and spring.
Okay, so what is the reason behind that you don't like the season?
Ma'am, in rainy season, ma'am, uh, rain hampered the road very badly, ma'am. There are bad mud in street in our area, ma'am, and and sometime when we go to our places, then suddenly rain fall, ma'am. It is very annoying to me. So that's why, ma'am, I don't like rainy season.
Oh, all right, all right. All right. So I think it's like it has a similar kind of view, maybe like me, because yes, it is the rainy season. You can romanticize it because of many reasons, or maybe if you want to enjoy it from the window, then rain is very beautiful to look at. But after the rain ends, when you want to go outside, then it becomes a hectic situation. Actually, I started this discussion because today it was raining so hard, and actually I was stuck in the road, like inside a shop for 1 hour. I had to wait there, and there was no vehicle that I could use, and I had to walk almost 3 kilometers, and then I had to reach home. So it was such a bad, and the everything everywhere there was mud, and the dresses everything gone like dirty. So it's a hectic situation, right? So yes, it happens, but rain also has some good like things, because if we think about Shantiniketan, if you look in the Google, if you look at Google, if you will find that actually Shantiniketan is a place where when like it's summer, the sun, like the degree Celsius becomes more than 45 to 46 degrees Celsius. It's more like Rajshahi. It's more like Rajshahi. So that's why sometimes we feel like that we need the rain. So that's why it's a love-hate relationship, like love-hate kind of relationship. So Saurabh, if you like winter and spring, what's the reason for what you like winter or spring? What is the main reason?
Ma'am, the main reason is, ma'am, when the winter start, our final exam has just finished, ma'am. So we got many free time, and that time we play badminton, and everybody wear the a nice jacket or shoes. It's very nice to me, and in winter, ma'am, we spent great time, ma'am. I spent great time was uh, in the first month of the year, January. uh, our uh, school school managed many program, like, ma'am, ceremony.
Annual programs.
Yes, ma'am, annual program and culture program. So That's make my winter is uh, perfect. So I like.
That's made my winter perfect. Made is my winter perfect, no? That's made my winter perfect.
Yes, ma'am.
And is
That's
there,
why, ma'am.
yes, and aren't there many food or like the things related to food, the pithas and pulis, all those things, don't they also
Yes,
make the winter season special?
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Cause my father was a very like like farmer, ma'am. He cultivate many types of rice. Uh, some of them, ম্যাম কি বলবো ম্যাম আর কি, মানে এক ধরনের চাল আছে না ম্যাম, মানে ওটাতে শুধু পিঠাই হয়।
আহ আচ্ছা, আতপ চাল বলে ওটাকে, লাইক ইটস।
তো এরকম চাল আমাদের বাসায় ম্যাম আর কি আমার বাবা অনেকই করেন শুধুমাত্র এই পিঠা খাওয়ার জন্য ম্যাম। আর শীতকালে তো ম্যাম অনেক প্রোগ্রাম হয় তো ম্যাম, এর জন্য আর কি শীতকাল আমার কাছে খুবই প্রিয়। ইন ভিলেজ
ওকে।
ম্যাম দেয়ার আর ম্যানি গানের আসর হয় ম্যাম আর কি, এটা ইংরেজি জানি না ম্যাম।
Many programs, many singing programs, many
মিসিং।
singing programs. All right then. And Mamun, is rain your most favorite season, or are there any seasons that you like too, like more than rainy season?
It may be mm, summer season, ma'am.
Uh, really? Okay, you like summer season. Like, what are the reasons that for that you like summer season?
Because when winter season comes, we feel very cold, and we didn't go to outside in my place as usual. As a result, I like summer season. Although summer season is creates a very rude behave in a nature. In the summer season, the temperature was very high. Uh, so then uh,
Yes, Mamun, tell me what are you trying to say?
আমি বলতেছি তারপরও আমি আর কি ওই শীত গ্রীষ্মকালকে ভালোবাসি।
Mm, couldn't understand, Mamun. আবার একবার যদি রিপিট করেন।
জি ম্যাম, আমি বললাম যে যদিও ওই গ্রীষ্মকালে গরম থাকে প্রচুর, তারপরেও আমি গ্রীষ্মকালকে ভালোবাসি। এটাই বলতে চাচ্ছিলাম ম্যাম।
Oh, even though you learned a like what is that? The way the parts of speech which connects to clauses. It's preposition conjunction, right? So conjunction. So even though you can use this conjunction, like even though it rain, like even though the weather becomes very hot, still I like summer season the most. Okay. So aren't there many foods, or like there are many things? Is it because, mom, that there is a big holiday? Is that the reason that you like summer season?
Gee, ma'am, we get sometimes for spending with my family, and we know that there are many fruits uh, are growth in the time of summer season. That's in mango, uh, etc. Ma'am.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, got it. Totally got your points. Yes, there are some people who like summer. Yes, right, right. So, yes, then I think I would, yes. mm, I think most of the people they have their role model in their life, and there are some people they want to follow. I asked this question the other day. Uh, Mamun, did you answer this question? I asked this question to Piyash. Did I also ask this question to you that who is your role model or the person, your ideal person whom you follow? Did I ask you this question or not?
No, ma'am.
Right. So I think I will go to Saurabh and ask him, whom do you think is the person or not a fictional character, because I have already heard that there is a fictional character, and from a movie that you watched is your favorite character that you want to follow. But is there a real person or a maybe some great person or a person who has a lot of influence in our world? Is there a person whom you follow or you idealize as him as your and maybe sometimes you also worship that person? Is there any person, and what is the reason for which you worship that person?
Ma'am, I have no specific any person, but I love and respect everybody, and I took their good thoughts and did, and avoid their bad things, because everybody have some good or and bad things. So I I I learned, ma'am, I learn from everybody only the good things, ma'am. But I have no specific only one person, ma'am. I have no, not.
Okay, okay, got it. Okay, thank you, Saurabh. Then and what about Mamun? Do you have a person in your mind that whom do you like to follow or whom you try to like follow in your regular life? Each and every person, they can have their person. Maybe most of them they have a favorite person. Who is that kind of person? Do you have any?
It is my father because I
Oh,
have been seeing him from my childhood, and I learn. I have learned one thing from my father. All of the time, he feels satisfied with little, and these things are very uh, happy me, and that's why I like him very much, and he is my role model. And all of the time, he advised me, uh, don't don't waste your time, and don't ignore your uh, elder uh, elder person. And when you
respected persons, elder persons, no, rather say respected persons.
respected person, and he also said that when you will meet a respected person, that time obviously you will converse with him, and you will give a salam to meet him. And when best of things, uh, I like very much
Best of
in my
all
father.
things, Mamun, best
Yeah,
of all things.
best of all things. And ma'am, uh, one of the best thing from one of the best one of the best thing which I learned from my father uh, is also he feels satisfied with little, and I will try to uh, develop it in myself, ma'am. That's why he is my role model.
Oh, thank you. That's a
And ma'am,
that's
this- and
yes.
ma'am,
Mhm.
ma'am, all of the time when I bought a mobile phone, from this time I made my wallpaper I made my phone wallpaper uh, with my father picture.
Okay, okay. That's really great. That's really great. Um, Actually, that's also like my father is also the role model for me. He is such a great person and such a respected person that the whole village or almost like there are many people in our district they know him by his name, of course. So yes, we should have that one person and reminding, of course. And of course we of course should respect our we of course respect should respect our parents at any cost, and we do all should do all the things, all the best things for our parents whenever we still when we have them in within us. And we should never ignore them, we should never neglect them for anything, any other person, any kind of situations. Yes, that's what I think. So um then I guess I will wrap the class up now, and we will. It's tomorrow. It's Saturday, right? So we will take both the class. We will have our both the classes, and I will send you the homework right away. I guess the spoken class and for the uh, basic English grammar class also. So I think that's wrap up for the class for today. Okay. So good night. Take care everyone and Allah Hafiz.